Hey, Jim Wolf here with dating advice for men who love women. I don't want to sound too hyperbolic, but this might be the most important presentation you've ever listened to when it comes to your dating success and your success in long-term relationships with women. Because challenge is what women want. And you can be a challenge no matter what you look like, no matter what your salary is, no matter what else is going on in your life. You can always decide to be a challenge with women. And being a challenge with women is something that can improve your results a lot. Whether you just want to date women or you want to be in a long-term relationship with one awesome woman, being a challenge is a must if you want to be successful. And so if you don't fully understand the concept of being a challenge, or you resist the idea of being a challenge with women for some reason or another, I really hope that we can change your mindset about that by the end of this presentation, because it can have a huge impact on your success. And here's the thing, even if a woman doesn't intellectually like the idea of challenge, or she resists it for some reason, or she doesn't necessarily want it actively, it's something that she responds to positively anyway. And so if two versions of you meet a woman that you really like, and one version of you is able to be a challenge with her, and the other version of you is not, she will prefer the version of you that is a challenge with her every single time. And over the long term, it's definitely better for her as well. Both of you are going to win when you are a challenge. And that's the key that I want to get to by the end of this presentation. And the other day I got an email about this, and that's why I'm making this presentation. And he said, "Hey Jim, there's a girl I like and I know she likes me, but she said she doesn't see her man in me, even though she admires me as a friend and as a person, and told me that I have everything she needs in a man. What does that mean? I'm confused. Also, I don't really understand how to challenge a woman. I'm incredibly good at building rapport, but not breaking it, and encouraging her to chase me. And you talk about those two things a lot in your videos, but I just can't get behind it. What's your take on all of this?" Well, here's what I told him. Being a challenge with women makes you more of a good guy, not less. It doesn't make you a jerk. It doesn't make you an a-hole. It doesn't make you anything negative. It's a positive thing. Being a challenge with women makes you more of a good guy, not less. And when you say, "I also don't really understand how to challenge a woman," and that you're incredibly good at building rapport but not breaking it, and encouraging her to chase you, well, that's exactly why she said she doesn't see her man in you. See, you're able to build rapport with her and support her, etc. And all of those things are good things. Don't get me wrong. It's not that you should stop doing that. It's just that you're not able to challenge her, stand up to her when it's necessary, and lead with her at the same time. And here's the key. A woman needs both to feel completely attracted to a man and to fall deeply in love with him. If you're just pulling her in, I like you, 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 and showing your interest all the time, and you never push her away a little bit, something will be missing, and your connection with her will fall apart. Because there's no attraction there, there's no challenge, there's nothing to latch onto, you're basically just a platonic friend. And there's nothing wrong with that if you just want to be friends with her, but if you want her to have strong feelings for you, you also have to push her away a little bit in addition to pulling her in. Now, you also can't just push her away either. You also have to lead and ask her out on dates, for example. So you do have to pull her in as well. You can't just push her away. It's just that most guys who only push women away don't seek help for their issue. So chances are, if you're working on yourself and you're working on dating, you're pretty good at building a friendly connection with a woman, and you just need to create more of a spark and be a little more of a challenge and push her away a little more. This is the secret sauce when it comes to attracting women. You don't just pull her in. You pull her in and you push her away at the right times in the right way at the same time. That's the key to your success. You have to do both if you want a woman to have strong feelings for you and eventually fall in love with you and become your girlfriend or your wife. You have to do it. And again, it's actually a good thing for her over the long term as well, because she gets to feel really strong feelings for a great guy, which in this case is you. And here's the thing. It's not really nice if you're not giving her everything that she needs, is it? I mean, why would it be better to only give her half of what she wants, needs, and responds to? Why is it a good thing that she's attracted to other men who can be a challenge with her, and she feels those connected feelings to you, but doesn't feel attracted to you? Why is it good for her to just be attracted to other men instead? That doesn't make any sense. And so again, it's a good thing to challenge a woman. And I encourage you to do whatever it takes to accept that concept completely. And here's the key to all of this. You might think that playfully teasing a woman, or waiting 4 to 8 days after you go on an amazing date with her to ask her out again while she's sitting there wondering what you're doing and why you don't text her very much, or saying no to her when you should, or disagreeing with her without being disagreeable, or stating your strong opinions and not changing them when she disagrees with you, or not revealing too much about yourself to her too fast, are bad things, and that those things are hurtful to a woman in some way. Well, it's actually the opposite. Not giving her those gifts prevents her from feeling all kinds of fantastic feelings that she wants to feel. And if you really are a great guy, then you will want a woman to experience those kinds of emotions and end up with a great guy like you. Especially if she's amazing, and especially if you really, really like her. Listen, women interpret you being a challenge with them as romance. They love it. In fact, being a challenge is 1,000 times more romantic than buying a woman flowers. And it has the side benefit of actually making a woman more interested in you, while getting her flowers does not. Being a challenge with a woman is 1,000 times more romantic, in a good way, than buying her flowers. And are there some women who don't love it when you're a challenge? Well, if a woman is psychologically unstable, or she has an inflexible bad attitude, or she's simply not interested in you, then being a challenge with her is not going to work, and she's not going to like it, and it's not going to make her feel good. However, of course, we don't want to waste our time and energy with those women or be in a relationship with them anyway. And here's the key. The best women, the kind of woman that you really want to be with, especially if you get into a long-term relationship, love it when you're a challenge with them. It's something that's missing out there right now. So few guys are a challenge that women just don't feel these feelings of strong attraction and love anymore for men, for the most part. And so you can be the one who gives her that gift. And here's another thing. Even if a woman gets a little frustrated with you over the short term because you're not doing what she expects you to do, because you're not chasing her all over town like every other guy that she meets does, and every other guy that she gets rid of, by the way, does. Just because you're not doing all the things she expects you to do, she might feel a little frustrated with you at first because of that. However, she's going to feel much better with you over time. Because that temporary frustration turns into intense attraction, joy, happiness, validation, and even love once that tension is broken and you take the next step forward with her. And she would never get to experience those strong emotions if she didn't feel that tension building up first. That's the key. When you're being a challenge with a woman, you're going to feel some tension. You're going to want to cut that tension. You're going to want to text her. You're going to want to show her your interest somehow. And instead, if you hold back and you're a challenge with her, that tension's going to build up. And then when you finally release it, those positive emotions that she's going to feel when you do release it are going to be much stronger and they're going to feel a lot better to her. And even the sweetest, kindest, most innocent women in the world respond to you being a challenge with them. It's one of the few things that actually makes a woman more interested in you. And consider this. What do you think feels better to a woman? Having a guy already 100% into her on the first date before they even get to know each other? Or going out with a guy and having a great time with him on several dates, but at the same time, he's not completely sold on her yet. He wants to get to know her better before he decides if he should be into her or not. Then, over the course of 2 to 3 months, as she shows him her real self, she slowly wins him over until he finally decides to commit to her because her personality and her behavior are so awesome. Exactly. It feels 1,000,000 times better when she earns it. See, a woman doesn't want your full attention just because she's good looking or because you think she's amazing before you've even been on several dates with her and you've actually gotten to know her, including her flaws. She wants to earn your attention more and more over time by being an awesome person that you start liking more and more over time as you slowly get to know her, including her flaws, quirks, hang-ups, etc. Plus, when you're a challenge with a woman, it encourages her to start chasing you. And when you give her the opportunity to participate in your relationship with her, instead of just constantly pushing your agenda, things tend to work out better for you. It's actually less selfish to be a challenge with her because what you're really doing is saying that her interest level matters too, and that dating is a two-way street versus you just trying to get her. So if you really want women to feel good while also being able to attract the best ones at the same time, find a way to build and break rapport with them so they get to experience a broad range of emotions with you. Find a way to lead things forward and then take a step back and be a challenge at the same time. Because again, you must push and pull. Otherwise, something will be missing. All push and no pull makes you a jerk. All pull and no push makes you a friend, nice guy, brother, or a guy she doesn't think about that way. Pushing and pulling in the right amounts at the right times makes you a gentle man. Pushing and pulling in the right amounts at the right times makes you a gentleman. Think of attracting a woman like using a bow and arrow. If you don't push forward on the bow and pull back on the bowstring in the right amounts at the right time, you will not hit your target. And of course, if you do push and pull the bow and the bowstring at the same time exactly the right way, then the arrow hits the bullseye. And it's exactly the same thing with women. If you don't create the perfect amount of tension in the bow, then your arrow will never go anywhere. So instead of agreeing with everything a woman says and changing your opinion to match hers, let her know when you disagree with her. And do it without being disagreeable. Both of you can have a different opinion, and that's a good thing. And do not change your opinion automatically when she disagrees with you about something. And instead of telling her all about yourself, give her a silly answer first before you reveal something about yourself when she asks you a personal question. For example, if she asks you, "What do you do for a living, by the way?" You can say something like, "Oh, I'm a ninja," or a bank robber, or if you're not very classically handsome, you can say you're a male model and kind of say it ironically. You can tell her you're a professional bull rider, etc. What you want to do is give her kind of a playful, funny, silly answer first, and say it with a straight face like it's really your job. And then when she says, "Haha, no, really, what do you really do?" Then you can say, "Oh, I'm an accountant. Oh, I'm an engineer," whatever your job is. So give her some kind of playful answer first. Then when she asks you again for more information, which is her chasing you, by the way, then you give her the real answer. So you just need a little bit of this spice to be a challenge. You don't need a lot. You have to push and pull. And the key when you're having a conversation with her is just to make her work for information about you a little bit versus just revealing everything about yourself all at once. In other words, even in your conversation with her, you want to be a challenge. And instead of giving a woman too many compliments on a date, give her 1 compliment per date maximum and playfully tease her the rest of the time instead of over-complimenting her. In other words, playfully challenge her instead of over-complimenting her. Because again, that feels better to her. And by the way, once you calibrate your playful challenges and see how women respond to them, you'll actually wonder why you haven't tried it before, or why you haven't done it as much before. And you'll start to realize that you can do it even harder than you think in your mind, because women can take it. Women can take a lot more than you probably think, and they tend to love it. Again, not every woman is this way. Some women have their own issues that are stopping them from being playful in their life, and there's not much that we can do about that. But for the most part, women can take a lot more playful, challenging conversation than you probably think, and they probably enjoy it a lot more than you think right now if you don't fully buy into this concept yet. So give it a try, use some playfully challenging lines, and see how women react. And calibrate your playfully challenging lines until they start landing properly for you. However, what we don't want to do is put a woman down. In my opinion, you should never put a woman down, because that's different than being a playful challenge, and it doesn't feel good to her, and it's just mean. So, for example, you can say, "You're so cute, like the 3rd cutest girl I've seen all day," because it's playfully challenging. On the other hand, you should never say something like, "Your nose is ugly," or "You're stupid," or something like that, because that's just an insult. It's not playful and it's not challenging. It's just mean. Make sense? Awesome. Last one. Instead of enjoying a great date with the woman and then asking her, "When can I see you again?" at the end, like an eager puppy dog, and then texting her 9,000 times a day until you probably don't see her again. Instead of doing that, just have a great time on your date with her, and then at the end tell her, "Thanks for the fun time tonight, Angelina," and then walk away and disappear for a while. Keep your texting and other communication with her to a minimum between dates, and then just wait 4 to 8 days after your date, and then just ask her to go out with you again. Ask her on another date. You want to give her time and space in between dates to think about you and wonder why you're not texting her a lot like every other guy that she meets and gets rid of does. That's what raises her interest in you the most, not the time you spend with her on actual dates. That time in between is actually even more critical than when you're on a date with her. And if you can sit back and wait and be a challenge with her, she's going to be a lot more attracted to you, assuming that she's interested in you at all in the first place. Now, again, you might think that making her wonder if you're going to ask her out again or not, and not talking to her a lot in between dates is somehow bad, and that it's not nice to her in some way. Well, that's just not true. It might be nicer in the short term, and not really. I mean, she can always just ask you out or text you if she wants. She doesn't have to wait for you. She can do those things if she really wants to talk to you or take you out. However, it's much nicer for her over the long term if she gets to experience the feelings associated with her increasing attraction to you and eventually falling deeply in love with you. I mean, which of these situations do you think is better for her? Knowing where she stands with you for sure immediately so she never has to wonder about you or think about you, or not being completely sure about where she stands with you right away? I mean, she thinks you like her, but you're not acting like every other guy out there, so what's the deal? And then earning your attention over time until she catches you by being an awesome woman. And then getting to feel the incredible feelings a woman feels when she finally catches a great guy and falls deeply in love with him. Of course, it's the second situation. So your choice when you're dating a woman is not between being a nice guy and a jerk, It's between creating shallow, short-lived good feelings in the short term or creating deep, lasting good feelings over the long term. And because you're a natural leader, I think you know which way you want to lead your relationships with women from now on. The choice is between giving in to the fear that she'll forget about you or stop liking you and embracing the love that she'll feel for you if you don't give in to that fear. The choice you're making is not between being a brother kind of guy and a cocky jerk. It's between being a friend zone kind of guy and a gentle man. You know, the kind of guy a woman actually falls deeply in love with. So do whatever it takes to learn every possible way you can be a challenge with women from now on. Because again, being a challenge with women the right way is something that can improve your results with women the most. And of course, we'll keep covering all the ways that you can be a challenge with women right on this YouTube channel. And if you want to expedite your results, go grab our best-selling Attract and Keep Her system right now. Inside the Attract and Keep Her system, you'll discover the right way to be a challenge with a woman if you want her to fall deeply in love with you and become your girlfriend or your wife. And you'll learn how to be a challenge with a woman step by step from the first moment that you meet her, and then exactly what to do with her step by step for as long as you're with her after that. So if you haven't gotten your copy already, go grab that by going to attractandkeepher.com/system. That's attractandkeepher.com/system right now. Or if you're not sure that you want a long-term relationship yet, you can also get our Good Guy Guide. The Good Guy Guide focuses really strongly on the attraction phase of dating. And so if you just want to have short-term connections with women for now, and you want to learn how to be a challenge with them the right way in that scenario, go grab the Good Guy Guide right now instead. And the cool thing about the Good Guy Guide is that if you do meet a woman that you end up wanting to be in a relationship with, you can switch into relationship mode easily at any point that you want. So again, if you want to learn how to be a challenge with women the right way, but you're not sure if you're ready for a long-term relationship quite yet, go grab your copy of the Good Guy Guide right now by going to datingadviceformenwholovewomen.com/GGG. That's datingadviceformenwholovewomen.com/GGG. And as a thank you for checking out this presentation, we have some free gifts for you as well. We have some advanced free training for you, and you can get all of that by going to datingadviceformenwholovewomen.com. That's datingadviceformenwholovewomen.com. I'm Jim Wolf with Dating Advice for Men Who Love Women. I highly encourage you to be a challenge with women from now on because it's the best thing for you and for them. And I'll talk to you later.